What's going on, guys? So today I have my first non-anime related video ever hitting this channel. So a while back I asked you guys if you would like to see any other content, and I got a couple suggestions about games and maybe some walkthroughs of games, but I really don't like posting gaming to YouTube, and I wouldn't want to do that on this channel. I might in the future for like Pokemon and stuff like that, but we'll have to see. And one thing I do really like, and I got a couple of suggestions from some friends saying that why don't you do other pop culture related stuff, not just anime. And so I thought that would be a good idea. So I've decided to maybe bring some superhero type content to the channel, maybe some comic book reviews. Maybe I'll do a video about all the comics I've collected. Kind of like my manga videos where I show you all the manga I have. Well, I'll show you all the comic books I have. And so today I'll be bringing you guys the MCU tier list. So I'll be ranking all the MCU movies, including Endgame, and I'll tell you guys why I like them, why not. This video idea came from iDubbbz because he's been doing these tier lists lately, and I thought it was a really good idea, so I figured why not. So let's go ahead and get right into this tier list. Alright, so how this is going to work is I'm just going to go from left to right and then down to Iron Man and then go right again. So just first row, second row, then I'll put them in these tiers. So S being like the best, A being second best, B third best, you know how it goes. And I'm actually going to rename D to just bad, or actually let's just skip D and make it F, because F means bad. So but I don't think any will be an F, but we'll see. We have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now I think Guardians of the Galaxy is a great series, but I don't think 2 is as good as 1 because I didn't like the whole like Celestial Dad writing. It just seemed very very weird how he would be like how he's villainous. I don't know how it went in the comics, but if that's the same thing it went in the comics, it just felt rough. So I'm gonna give Guardians of the Galaxy a B tier, Volume 2, because the reason I'm putting it B and not C or F, because the soundtrack was just so good. And yeah, that's why it bumps it up for me, because amazing soundtrack. Alright, let's go with Spider-Man Homecoming. So, if any of you guys know me personally, you'll know that I have a soft spot for Spider-Man, because I love Spider-Man so much. But with this movie, I didn't get enough web swinging scenes that really made me feel nostalgic, because if you guys know, like the old Sam Raimi movies, they had that web swinging, and like you just got the feel of like Spider-Man being a superhero, just swinging around the city, you know, being fluent and agile, and it really made you feel like you were him. Like it made you feel like you wished you were him. And so I didn't really get that from this movie, but this movie was amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this at A. Moving on to Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now I do like Ant-Man, but I'm not like a huge fan of Ant-Man. I think they're good movies, and I think Paul Rudd is a good cast for Ant-Man because I think he's very funny, and I think he fits the character well. And Ant-Man and the Wasp, it was a so-so movie. Like it was good, but it wasn't terrible. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give that a C. And the same thing with Ant-Man. Like I don't like Ant-Man that much because like I don't know, he just shrinks, man. He's not that cool. Like I said, the movies are funny, and I think he's like a fresh new face to bring to the the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I don't know, it's just lackluster for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and put him at a C as well. But you know, I thought he's a good cast, and I enjoy his movies. Now with Avengers Age of Ultron. See, I think my personal preference is that this is the worst Avengers movie. It's a really good movie, but it's not my favorite. So I think Quicksilver was portrayed bad in this movie. I didn't like the Quicksilver cast. I didn't like how like his shots were. I didn't think he was very cool like how he is in X-Men. But I don't know. This one's a tough call because this one has just felt very, very like lackluster. It felt like it was just like progressive of like the story, so I didn't think it was that good, so I'm just gonna throw it into the C category. All right, moving on to Avengers Infinity War. Now this is where it starts to get interesting, because Infinity War set up Endgame perfectly. It was super hype when it dropped. I remember seeing this and I was like in shock that Spider-Man had passed away and how he was just snapped out of reality. And like social media was blowing up. It was just like a huge ordeal, and the movie literally was amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in, it's either an S or an A for me. I think I'm gonna go ahead and throw Infinity War into the S category because of it had such a big impact on, you know, the MCU, because all these new characters had died and we didn't know what was going to happen next. All right, now we're going to talk about Black Panther. When Black Panther first came out, it was like a cultural icon, but I don't think people understood that it wasn't that great of a movie. Like it's good, don't get me wrong. I love all the MCU movies, but the pace felt very fast. It was like he's doing this, and then boom, like the next scene he's off doing this, and like wait, there's this guy who's taken over the city. Now he's the new king. Wait, you know, like he died, or I mean he almost died in the duel. Like what's going on here? It just felt very like rushed, and like the pacing was very off. But it was actually a really good movie because I like the actor for Black Panther. I think his name is Chadwick. I forget his last name, but he's actually a really good actor. And if you guys don't know, he's going to play a samurai in an upcoming movie, and I'm super excited to see it. So I'm going to probably give Black Panther a B because it was good. The pacing was off, but I like the casting. I like the casting a lot. And I thought it was a cool new character to bring to the MCU. Moving on with Captain America Civil War. Now, Captain America, for me, he's not my favorite superhero by far. He's not even close. But for some reason, every Captain America movie is just like a hitter. It's just like, it's a hit. Like, it's always so good. It's written very well. It usually has like a lot of people involved. It's always got a great story. So I'm going to go ahead and put Civil War as an S. For one, it almost felt like an Avengers movie. 2, Spider-Man was introduced. 3, great story behind all that. And yeah, I thought it was a really, really good movie. All right, moving on with Captain America, the first one. Like I said again, this one introduced Captain America. Great movie. Great setup. I didn't really like Red Skull in this movie. This movie was good. It was all right. It's a B tier for me. I'm not gonna go into too much depth because I haven't really seen it in a while. But I just know when I seen it, it wasn't like, it didn't blow me out of the water. But it also didn't disappoint. So I don't want to put it high on A, but I don't want to put it low on C because it, like I said again, it's not like amazing, but it's definitely not a disappointment. All right, this is where we get into the good stuff. The Captain America Winter Soldier. This is a great movie because Bucky. I think Bucky's the actor was a great cast. I think it was very interesting to get that story. It's nice to see Steve have another friend, and you know, I just thought it was an all-around great movie. It had good writing, good story, you know, good dialogue. It had everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Captain America Winter Soldier an A because it was a great movie. All right, so with Captain Marvel. You might hate me for this, but don't, because it's just my opinion. If you don't agree, then hey, that's you, and I got me. And I'm not gonna get mad at you for your opinion. Please don't get mad at me for my opinion. We all have our preferences. You might love this movie, but for me, I've seen this movie in theaters, and I regret doing that. One, the star of the movie, Brie Larson, didn't give this movie a feeling of a superhero movie. It gave it like, I don't even know, like it was her acting was lackluster. She feels soulless and like lifeless in her acting. She's very monotone. I just hate her as an actor, and I prayed to whoever's out there that they would cast someone else, because I just hate her acting. I watched her in a movie, another movie I watched, and I mean, it was just lackluster. It's the same thing. She's very monotone. She's very she has like dead in her eyes. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But Samuel L. Jackson made that movie for me. Like, I had a good time watching it for the only reason I like Samuel L. Jackson. He's a great actor. And I mean, Pulp Fiction, like what? I mean, Samuel L. Jackson is one of the greatest actors of all time. And for him to be in that movie, that's what it made me. But other than Samuel L. Jackson, that movie, yeah, I mean, it sucks. And I might have to give it an F. I feel bad giving it an F because I love Samuel L. Jackson in that movie. But, I mean, she's just very dry and lackluster. The movie was meh. I mean, and I thought there was going to be a lot of people at the movie theater, and there wasn't. Like, I'm surprised. Alright, moving on to Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, great movie. Had a different feel than all the other movies. It didn't feel like that, spry superhero movie. It was drama. It was dark, because I mean, he got in the car accident. He was living his life, and then he was this big surgeon, and then he got his hands taken away from him, and you felt bad for him, and you just felt bad for the guy, and all he wanted was his hands back, and I don't know, it went to the like multiverse, Infinity Stones. It really gave you a look at how like mythical the MCU can be and the Marvel Universe can be. And I thought it was a great movie. Now, is it A tier or S tier? No. But is it B tier? Yes. I think it was good. But I mean, there wasn't that much action until like the very end. And but it had great dialogue, great effects actually. Yeah, it was all around. It was a solid movie, and I liked it. And I can't wait to see number 2, actually. I'm excited to see what they do with Doctor Strange. For this reason, I think he has a lot of powers that aren't shown yet. And I think it'll be really cool to see what they do with him. Alright. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy. The first one. This is a hitter. This movie is a 10 out of 10 in my book. I mean, this movie knocked it out of the park, over the stadium, into the next county. This movie was a hit. I loved this movie. The soundtrack was, oh my god, the soundtrack was good. It was so good. I'm a sucker for like 70s and like 80s music. I know it was mostly 70s. I think it was all 70s actually. And no, I think there's some 80s hits in there. But I mean, the soundtrack, whew. And then I mean, you get to see more of the space aspect of the MCU. Peter Quill, I mean, being himself, and Dave Bautista, great cast for Drax. What, I forget his name. Oh, it's slipping my mind. But Peter Quill's cast, amazing. One of my favorite guys from Parks and Rec. I mean, he made that show as well. Um, hold on, let me look this up. I know it's right on tip of my tongue. I know I'm gonna feel stupid as soon as I see it. Chris Pratt, there it is. Chris Pratt. He made Parks and Rec. Great actor. This movie's an S tier for me. Whoops. S tier. Alright, moving on. I mean, I don't even know where to start with Endgame, man. It was an emotional roller coaster. We had Tony Stark's passing, no more Robert Downey Jr. We had Fat Thor, which was great. We had all the time travel aspects. We had Paul Rudd joining Avengers. Cast more, because I know he's in Civil War. We got to see my boy Spidey come back. I mean, this movie, as you guys know, breaking box office records. It's an S. I mean, that's not even arguable. It can't go anywhere other than S. It's the wrap up of almost 22 films. Actually, not the wrap up, because Spider-Man: Far From Home is the wrap up of Phase 4. So, but it's the wrap up of Tony Stark, and you know, it's basically the wrap up. Moving on. Let's just put all these Iron Men in order. So we'll go Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. Iron Man 1 introduced the whole, you know, Iron Man to the MCU. But I think all the Iron Man movies are decent. Like, I don't think they're amazing. I think they're really cool. I think Iron Man 2 is revolutionary. I mean, Iron Man is revolutionary. So I'm going to go ahead and put Iron Man at an A. Because I think this was a great character to start the MCU with. An unlikable character in theory that you learn to love, and you learn to like. He grows, and you get to see him grow as a person and as a businessman, and at the end of Endgame as a father. So I thought that was great. Alright. Iron Man 2. Didn't like the villain. It was okay. I think the rest of the Iron Mans, like, I don't need to talk about these Iron Men very much, because I think they're B level. I think Iron Man 3 is C. I think Iron Man 2 is B. But yeah, Iron Man 2 and 3, they're good movies, but they're nothing special. I mean, I think anybody can agree with that. Iron Man 1 was a hit, but the rest, the other two, you know, very normal movies. Alright, the first Avengers. This is the first, you know, first assembly of all these superheroes. Avengers. I mean, for me, it's an A tier, just because, I mean, it's just an all-around good movie. We got to see the Hulk in action. We got to see the invasion in New York. We got to see all the Avengers come together to protect the world from an invasion. And, you know, I mean, it's just what kicked it off. What kicked off the craze of superhero movies. In my opinion, the first Avengers is what brought a lot of people to the theaters to get to know these characters. Like, I know most people probably didn't start watching MCU movies with Iron Man. A lot of them probably started with Avengers, or maybe even, you know, Black Panther, because that was such a cultural thing. Maybe even some of them started with like Thor. I don't know, but I feel like a lot of people started watching the MCU movies with Avengers. Okay, this Hulk movie. This is where it gets dicey as well. The Hulk movies, or the Hulk movie with Edward Norton, I think his name is, was very bad. It seemed like, I don't know, it didn't feel like an MCU movie. It felt like something that was, I don't know, just thrown together. The Hulk looked pretty bad in it, but it is an older movie, so it's not that bad, but it's just not good, and I think it's an F tier. Just because, like, the Hulk now compared to this Hulk, like Mark Ruffalo's Hulk to that Hulk is just like, it blows it away. Like Mark Ruffalo does an amazing job as the Hulk. Same with the CGI of the Hulk, it's done very well. And yeah, I think the Hulk is an F tier compared to the Hulk now. Alright, I'm not going to get into too much detail with these Thor movies. I don't think they're very good. I'm going to throw them both at C. They're both lackluster. They're both kind of boring. I had to force myself to watch the second Thor, to be honest. What is it called? The Dark World. I had to force myself to watch it. It was very boring. But on a bright side, Thor Ragnarok to me is an S, 100%. It was funny. It was amazing. You got to see the Hulk and Thor. You got to see this new type of Hulk that starts talking and is building his own personality. We got what's the Rock guy's name? Super funny character. I'm glad I like what they did with Thor. They gave him kind of a comedic route other than Tony Stark. And I think it's a great thing that they did with Thor Ragnarok and turned the whole Thor series around. And yeah, so just wrapping this up, this is gonna be my tier list of all the MCU movies. So let's go over it one more time. We have Infinity War at S, Captain America Civil War at S, Guardians of the Galaxy at S, Endgame at S, Thor Ragnarok at S. At A, we have Spider-Man Homecoming, Captain America Winter Soldier, Iron Man and Avengers. At B, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Captain America, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, and Iron Man 2. At C, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp. We have Ant-Man, Avengers Age of Ultron, Iron Man 3, and both the Thors. And then at F, we have Captain Marvel and the Hulk. So, yeah, that's just my all-around thoughts on the MCU. I know this video is entirely way too long for what most people like, but I'm sorry. I really like these movies, and I'm very passionate about talking about them. So, if you guys did stick around to the end, I really appreciate it. I'm doing a giveaway, so if you guys want to check that out, I'll link it at the end screen outro. So just click the video, enter the giveaway and win some free manga. And drop a like if you want to see me show you my comics, talk about more MCU stuff. I'm going to either way, so just drop me a like. So appreciate all the support on the videos. See you guys on the next one. Peace out.